What's up? Yeah, it's a motorcycle mentality video. This one's gonna pretty much be on scooters slash moped. Now, just so you guys know, this is not more like a factual video. It's more on my point of view, pretty much my opinion on scooters, and because since everybody knows I ride a motorcycle, and obviously for some reason I don't know why there seems to be a love-hate relationship between bikers and scooter riders or moped riders, whatever. And the way I see it is a scooter or a moped is a two-wheeled vehicle, kind of like a motorcycle. They ride, even though the riding position is very, very different compared to how anybody rides on a motorcycle like myself. Very different, but guess what? They also had to take an course. They also had to take an MSS course. They also got to wear helmets. You know, like everyone else. Granted, they can wear the helmet styles pretty much similar to how motorcycle helmets are. They had to follow the same rules in litigation about that. Um, they can just be as much of a hooligan on scooters and mopeds as bikers are. I mean, here's my point. I've seen this with my own two eyes. I'm shocked that this could even be performed. But I seen a guy did a wheelie on a scooter. Wasn't expecting it. Didn't know how the hell. Whatever. It was just I was hanging out with Showstopper. We were just walking, talking, and everything, just shooting shit, whatever. And all of a sudden, we saw at an intersection this scooter rider zooming past the green light doing a wheelie on the scooter. And I was like, wow. I didn't think that was even possible. I mean, especially with the size of the wheel being smaller, but whatever. Anyway, I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, the only difference between scooters and motorcycles is that now not all motorcycles are, you have to use clutch systems. Some of them are automatic, but the majority of the scooters that I've seen have all been automatics. What that means is when you're on a motorcycle, I'm going to use my hands up here because that's the only way the camera can pick up. My hand's right here. On my left hand, this is the left side, I know, but on the left side, this is where we had to pull into for the clutch. So that way, on the pedal, we had to either kick down to go to first gear or we kick up toward the second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, sixth gear. It goes by the gear system, like I said. Clutch. That's for the motorcycle. Scooter, front brake. Now on this side, in terms of motorcycle, front brake on a motorcycle. This is the front brake. And the foot peg down there on your right side, that's the rear brake. On a scooter, rear brake. And guess what? You notice I didn't do no pointing for scooters. You want to know why? Because there's no foot pedals or anything. You literally just picture floorboards. You literally put your feet on the your footrest where you can rest your feet at. In terms of all your controls is pretty much by the handlebar. Just like a motorcycle, the actual right handlebar that controls your speed, your gas, your acceleration, your power, and in that form of sense, that's how it is. Now, I have never rode a scooter, but this is from what I understand. I mean, if you pretty much, there are some scooters and mopeds you really don't have to go take an MSF course in. You just need to learn how to ride a bicycle. And I'm pretty sure that's everybody. I mean, yeah, not everybody know how to ride a bicycle, but I'm pretty sure the majority of the people watching this or, is around have ridden a bicycle before. So, when you ride a bicycle, it's the same thing. Brake, and you got your pedals. You just, that's where you get your acceleration. Also, depending on what type of bicycle you have, you can switch gears by either having there's like this gear changer right above where the handlebar is, or this lever is actually your gear changer. It depends on what bicycle it is. So if you know how to ride a bicycle, and like I said, it depends on certain class of scooter, certain class of moped. You don't have to go to an MSF course. You don't have to take an MSS course. You don't even have to go to a DMV. You can literally show up with your driver's license and say, yeah, I own this vehicle. Do I need to have a special license for it? And they will, depend on which state, they'll look at it and be like, you practically got a lawnmower. No, go ahead. Now, speaking of what I mean by that, it all depends on the CCs. Now, the bike I have is obviously pretty high. It's a motorcycle, so I'm pretty happy about that, which means I got two friends. They are interested in getting scooters. Why? Because I have a motorcycle. So because I have a motorcycle, they want to get scooters, and they just want to, like, us hang around, just bullshit, whatever. Guess what? I know for a fact, because motorcycles, depend on what CC or what level you want to look at the bike. Like, for example, the lowest CC motorcycle you can get that I know of is a pit bike. And pit bikes tend to be a little bit faster, probably about the same average as a scooter, but they're pit bikes. Meaning that they can go off-road, they can go do all these other things. You can, they can be street legal, they can, but they're pit bikes, that's all it is. Comparative to a scooter, they're around the range of 125 cc's. What that means is their engine size is not that big, it's actually small. And because their engine size is small, the location where they have it in the scooters tend to be more toward the rear wheel. So, because of that, that means, under the seat, you have more of a giant cavity where you can stick your helmet in there, stick groceries in there. It's literally like your new storage compartment. And I think that's probably why, the whole weight, power, gravity ratio, that's probably how the guy was managed to do the wheelie on the scooter. But anyway, besides that, I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna definitely smoke their ass when we hang out. Obviously, if they want to race, it's an automatic I won. It's not like, a second chance or, hey, I'll give you a head start. 1, 2, 3, man, where the fuck y'all go? That's pretty much gonna be my reaction. It's gonna be like, and yep, already passed them. But it's all about having fun. It depends on who the rider is. Now, I don't understand where the hate come from, or the mentality of it, where it's like, why you riding a scooter, you pussy? It's like, I don't get that, and you want to know what's even funnier? Now, what is the biggest excuse car drivers have when they hit a motorcyclist, or is in an accident involving a motorcycle? Oh, I didn't see you. Right? But they do see the scooter rider. And you want to know what some of the excuses, that I've heard, because, people, is, why don't you get a motorcycle, you pussy? It's like, from people driving a car. So it's like, even they seem to somewhat look, I don't want to say look down on them, but even they seem to be like, what? That's just how my mentality is. Like, what? Like, even, why? They're riders like us. If you were to go to a motorcycle convention, you're going to see scooters, you're going to see mopeds. Hell, you probably might see some e-bikes. They're electronic bicycles that you can pedal like a bike, but if you're if you're pretty much lazy and too tired, you can literally switch on the electric motor where you can ride it without pedaling. It's pretty much like a motorcycle. That's the best thing. Depending on how it designed and how it looks. But yeah, you can even see some e-bike if they have them there. But that's why I'm saying it's like, They're riders like us. I mean, they're pretty much like hooligans like us, depending on who the rider is. If he's a guy that, like I said, the guy that like to do wheelies on his scooter or his moped, or a guy that just like to act like a hooligan and whatever, just to have fun, there's nothing wrong with that. That's why we got the like then another comparative analogy I can use is, say you see a group of people riding around on Honda Gram. Honda Gram are literally like pit bikes. They're small and stuff like that. I believe they're like 250 cc, somewhere around that. But they are pit bikes. And people have loads of fun on those. What's wrong with somebody riding a scooter? And there's always that old saying, the smaller the bike is, the more you can crank that throttle, all the way to its max, and you can still have loads amount of fun. Now here's the difference between a scooter slash moped. I mean, there are some mopeds that I'm going to sort of add them sort of like the same. Scooter slash moped versus motorcycles. If you decide to go on the highway, your ass better be in a motorcycle or in a car. Cause scooter rider over here, yeah, those bikes at max, if I remember my statistics correctly, can go up to 45 to 50 miles per hour. Highways, throughways, whatever, most of the riding limit tend to be about, depending on where you're from, 60 to 75. This motherfucking scooter can only go 45 miles per hour. Yeah, not happening. Not happening. But the pros about it is gas prices. These motherfuckers are cheap. Motorcycle, when it comes to comparative to a car, motorcycle wins, hands down, in terms of gas prices. And I know for a fact from my own experience. I paid, and I'm being honest, $8 to fill up my tank completely. And guess how long that shit lasted? A bit longer than a car, but I still pay $8 fucking dollars. I don't really keep track. Once my tank is full and I'm gone, I'm gone. It's like ramp gone. I like to have fun, but at the same time I like to relax and then I cruise. But that just besides the point. The most I've had ridden until the tank became completely empty was close to maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks. But that's when I'm being lenient. That's when I'm really just riding, relaxing, just not, doing anything crazy. I'm just, having one of those not therapy rides, but it's just being very, just cruising. It's like very therapeutic. That's what I'm thinking of. It's very, just having those moments where it's like, I'm just relaxing, I'm cruising. I'm not trying to, go too fast. I'm just, want to be in my own train of thought, so to speak. So, yeah, if I do that consecutively, day to night, okay, like I said, I may be exaggerating, but to me it probably feels like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. It depends either or. Plus, the distance where you're going. Me, I never merely have a distance, but besides the point, when you look at a scooter, now remember, I don't ride scooters. I've never been on a scooter. I'm not familiar with how much capacity, but I'm going to guess that it'll probably cost about maybe around $5. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong if you ride a scooter, but maybe about $5. And if you're not going too crazy on it. Now, when I'm going full blast on my motorcycle, yeah, that time frame's shortened. But it's my motorcycle, I'm having fun. Probably the same thing with somebody that's riding a scooter or a moped. If they're having fun, going crazy and everything, the short time frame will go shorter. But that's all how I'm saying. Um, so yeah, what else? Because like I said, because they have to go to the same liens and stuff to get that specialty license. Because remember, depending on your state, they look at two-wheel vehicles as, hey, you have to get a special license for that. Guess what? A scooter is a two-wheel vehicle. Okay, for example, if you have a driver's license to drive a car, you can literally, and I'm being honest, well, I don't know if it's because I live in the state that I am. It might be different from where you're at, but you can literally go to a motorcycle dealership, buy yourself a quad, and ride the fuck off. Because it's a quad. It's a four-wheel vehicle. Now, if memory serves me correct, if you try to purchase a three-wheel vehicle, same thing. You gotta go get a special license that says, hey, I am allowed and I know how to ride a three-wheel vehicle. So that's just how it is. So, yeah, they're riders like us. Now, are they more safer than motorcycle? Yes, but that does not mean there's never been any casualty or accident involving scooters. I know that sounds weird, but it's the truth. I mean, just as much as people hear all about the dangers and the problems and stuff about people riding motorcycles, how they get in an accident, how some people die, or, this and that, all these stories. I mean, a guy can get hit by a twig and all of a sudden be like, ah, and fall off. Or, especially if you ride your bike at night and you're squidding, bugs like to fly are more active at night, especially when they see some form of light and your motorcycle is emitting light, so they're going to charge to that light. Guess what? Pat, 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 it hits, and that shit hurts, depending on how fast you're going. If you're squidding. So far, I'm always wearing protective gear, but believe me, I can still feel the fuckers when I'm wearing my jacket. What else? Well, also, I don't have, what is that windscreen on my bike. I kind of like feeling the air when I'm riding. I know. I mean, I might eventually get a windshield, but whatever. But anyway, scooters or mopeds, same thing. Only difference is because they're slower, they may have a better reaction time to avoid it, but that doesn't mean there's never been an accident involving a scooter. And yeah, we're riders too, and I'm willing to bet, as weird as it sounds, people probably use the same excuse of, oh, I didn't see or hear you, because scooters tend to be silent. Yeah. But whatever. And plus, have you ever noticed, people that ride scooters, they're always having a smile on their face when they're riding, because they're having fun. Just like us riders, riding a motorcycle. We're either just having a straight face. For me, I'm enjoying every moment, so obviously I'm like, yeah, I'm having fun. So, why can't we just be cool about it? Why the negativity? It all depends on who the rider is. If you got a scooter rider that's an asshole, and you got a motorcycle rider that's an asshole, guess what? They're assholes. But if you got really chill people, it's not a big thing.